What we were looking at last week when we ended was the fact that everything I see is the past. It's a Course in Miracles workbook lesson, kind of paraphrased there. All I see is the past. But Holy Spirit was talking about that in this message given to Laurent and Carolyn and me. You know, Holy Spirit told us that current thoughts that are in our mind, including our current judgments, you know, everything that's in our mind, it would also include all of our perceptions. All of that comes to us from the past. That basically what we have done in the past is we have believed something. And when we believed it, we kind of sent it out into the universe to become manifest in some way, which it did. Whether it was manifest in our personal lives or not is irrelevant because we're all one. And then what happened after we sent it out into the universe is that the universe, as a gift, always giving us back what we give it, always giving us back what we give it, the universe sent it back to us as a thought, or a perception, or an experience. So what happens is we get caught up in the cycle of what we have believed goes out into the world, becomes manifest. In some way it's in our awareness. We see it, which reinforces its belief. And then it comes back into our mind again as a thought, and we have another opportunity to believe it. And we can get kind of caught up in this loop. And so what Spirit is helping us to do is to get out of being caught up in this loop by helping us to see that when a thought comes into our mind, even though it seems to be coming into our mind now, about something now, it really comes into our mind from the past. It's a recycle. So, you know, if I look out in the room and I see a name, Donna, I'm going to pick on my friend Donna. So if I look out in the room and I see Donna's name in the room, and in the past, let's imagine, this is not a true story, in the past, let's imagine that I perceived her as judging me while I was teaching. And, you know, I had a bit of a grievance about her judging me as I was teaching. Well, now I look at her and she's maybe typing something, and there's the thought that Donna is judging me again. Well, what Spirit is literally saying is my perception is coming from my past. Right? The truth is I don't even have to believe that it was Donna judging me before. I could have believed, you know, it was my mother judging me. And now I'll perceive Donna is judging me. It's not as specific to the personality. It's just the fact that I believed in criticism, that I believed in judgment, that I believed my worthiness or my reputation was somehow attached to that experience. It's that whole, you know, blob of beliefs that, you know, that will lead me to see that and continue to believe it if I choose to, right? So every thought that comes into my mind is recycled from the past. And what wisdom is telling us is that if we will see it as the past, then we will realize we don't have to fall for it again. We don't have to believe it now. It appears to be happening now. It appears that Donna is criticizing me now. It appears to my perception that my reputation is at stake now. But I can look at that with wisdom, and I can honestly say, yes, it's true, I've believed all of these thoughts before. I can see how they would recycle and come back to me now. And it kind of impersonalizes things. It makes it a little more benign, so I can say, you know what, this is just a past thought returning into current experience. But I just don't want to go that way anymore. I don't want to choose that way of perceiving anymore. And when I choose not to choose that way of perceiving anymore, then a new way of perceiving can be offered to me by what we call Holy Spirit, by wisdom. And I can choose to accept the new way of perceiving. So either I'm stuck in my old perceptions as they continue to return, and I continue to believe them, or I wise up to the fact that my old perceptions are coming from the past, I let them go, and I make myself available for a new perception. Right? So that's what was taught last week, and so now that catches us up, and the question this week then becomes, with this knowledge, what is most helpful to do? And Holy Spirit says, always remember you are looking at the past, but the power of perception is now. Rest in the knowledge of that power, and the mind, directed by desire, will know the perception it is directed to choose. Now these sentences get to be a bit heavy, as people pointed out to me. But what it's teaching is very simple. What it's saying is, if you remember that you want to see differently, like A Course in Miracles says, right? Above all else, I want to see. Above all else, I want to see differently. If you remember that you want to see differently, that is your heart's prayer. To see differently, to see only love, to see only through Holy Spirit's eyes, to see always with wisdom, right? If you remember that what you want above all else is to see differently, and you also remember that whatever is currently coming into your mind is an echo from the past, then what you can do is use now effectively. You can use this moment effectively. The idea comes into my mind, Donna is attacking me. Appearances are, she's attacking me right now. This is not past, this is current moment. Right? That's the appearance. The appearance is right now she's attacking me. But I can look for half a second and say, have I ever believed in attack before? With absolute honesty, that's an easy answer. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. I remember that whatever I believe in goes out into the universe and then comes back. And I totally understand why this is happening now. I get it. This is just the universe giving me what I gave it. I gave it the belief in attack through my belief in it. And now it is giving that back to me. Another opportunity to continue to believe that. It's really, Donna herself quotes me often, that what Spirit gave me in November of 2006. Love is giving through Spirit to Spirit that which Spirit requests. Right? Love is giving through Spirit to Spirit that which Spirit requests. So through my belief in attack before, I sent out a request to the universe saying, I want to experience the perception of attack. And then this time my sister Donna happens to show up seemingly attacking me, and there's my opportunity to continue to believe in attack. And if I fall for it, I think Donna's not my friend. She shouldn't have written those things about me. I continue to believe in attack. I just send out the request again. And somewhere it's going to show up in my holy perception again. Attack. But again, if I want to see all of this differently, and if I remember that what I really want, above all else, I want to see differently, then when, quote, Donna attacks me, it seems that way, I see that thought, I can also say, but wait a minute, it is true. It is true. I have believed in attack before. Absolutely, I sent that request out into the universe through belief. It makes perfect sense that this recycle, this echo is here. I get it. It's coming from me. Where have we heard that before? It's coming from me. And seeing it that way is different than seeing it as attack. I mean, how can it be attack if it's coming from me? In order to be attack, it has to come from Donna, right? It has to come from an other. But when it's just a perception echo of my own belief coming back, it's not an attack, it's just a perception echo of my own belief. That's different. And then I automatically see differently. Seeing a perception echo of my own belief is definitely different than seeing attack. So I see differently, I feel different, I respond different if I respond at all. So again, Spirit says, always remember you are looking at the past. Right? Always remember that. Whatever appears to be happening now is coming from your past belief. So always remember that you are looking at the past. And also remember the power of perception is now. You don't have to perceive it in that same old way again. You can perceive it as an echo instead of perceiving it as an attack, for example. Rest in the knowledge of that power. The power of perception is now. And the mind, directed by desire, meaning the desire you have to see differently, will know the perception it is directed to choose. It will know exactly how to see. Right?